Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I do want to start off with mentioning two major associations. We're going to be talking about the Digital Euro Association and also the Digital Pound Foundation. We're going to really kind of be talking about an in-depth view on the Federal Reserve as well, and how all of this ties directly to Ripple. So with all that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about the Digital Euro Association first. So we've been talking about Europe for a while. The ECB is ready. They are more than ready. We just recently talked about Christine Lagarde saying, DLT and crypto assets and digital assets in general are on the move. They are being spotlighted. Everyone wants them. Everyone wants to utilize them. It is moving extremely quick within this area. And I would say like innovation, disruption, just adoption in general is it has been ignited. This year, it really has been crazy to watch everything unfold in the last 10 months. I mean, it really has been moving extremely fast. We haven't really, I will say this. I did not anticipate all of the major updates this year alone. Because technically we were in a bear market, but it did not seem like a bear market at all. We still technically are in one, but it hasn't seemed like that because of the amount of information coming out that is really kind of playing into the narrative of CBDC adoption, DLT adoption, digital asset adoption. Like everything is moving extremely fast. Now, if you actually check out this article, this is from the Digital Euro Association. Like I said, they're focused on Ripple in regards to CBDC support as well as centered on cross-border payments as well. Now, they have their own CBDC issuance platform, which I think is going to power quite a bit of CBDCs going forward. I think that it's an incredible platform. In fact, we actually do see a quote from the chairman of the Digital Euro Association. We are thrilled that due to the partnership with Ripple, we can extend the technological expertise of the DEA community as more and more CBDC programs, or projects I should say, worldwide reach advanced stages. Technological design of CBDC will play a key role for policymakers in the near future, while previous years focused primarily on research. And this goes hand in hand with really kind of talking about things happening. But I will say this, okay? The Digital Euro Association and also even the Digital Pound Foundation technically don't have any correlation with the central bank within those areas. Just so that you guys know, these are organizations that are doing testing. They are working on CBDCs, and a lot of people think that, like, okay, well, these aren't really anything. I mean, like, even if you go to the homepage of the Digital Euro Association, it does say shaping the future of digital money, Digital Euro Association, who we are. They are a think tank, specializing in central bank digital currencies, crypto assets, and other forms of digital money. In particular, we focus on private and the public digital euro. But they aren't, a major company that is working with the ECB closely or anything like that, or at least that's what we don't know. But I will say this. I think that these key players will play a major role in digitization and developing a digital euro. Why do I say that? Well, if you look at the standard members here, I mean, like the RTGS Global, network is already a part of this. Circle's a part of this. EY is a part of this. Like, these are some major names, and of course you do see Ripple. You could check out some of their previous articles as well. They're really kind of focused on this. The digitization of the monetary system is progressing. The monetary system will undergo fundamental changes over the next decade. I completely agree, and I do think that Ripple, for the longest time, has been ahead of this. And you do see some of their expertise here: public digital euro / CBDC, and then private digital euro / euro stablecoins. Both of these have specific focus points. Like, this is a wholesale, more so CBDC, and then this is like a retail CBDC, which is totally fine if you want to really kind of focus on that. But both areas have specific focus. And then also the digital euro. Now this is, or the Digital Pound Foundation, sorry. This is where things kind of unfold into what I really want to get at, and this is where I do believe that the Federal Reserve comes into play. And what do I mean by that? Well, first off, we do see CBDCs and interoperability bridging the gap in innovation. Now, I kind of play into things a little bit differently. I have quite a different way of thinking about things and how things will work properly within the system. But we do see, down here that but for a truly global system to work, interoperability is key. In this webinar, industry experts explore the future of CBDCs, the impact of CBDCs on cross-border payments, and so forth. The reason why I bring this up and the reason why I want to talk to you guys about this is because there's so many major players that are tied to a lot of these organizations. Even the Digital Euros Association, although they don't have them listed as a direct partner, like for example, if we go to partners here, I don't believe that they are labeled here as a partner. But I know that Quant was at some point in time a partner of the Digital Euro Association, or at least providing some insight. But it looks like they aren't. So yeah. But you can see that they still have the Digital Pound Foundation down here. They all have a direct connection because they're all developing, learning, and providing insights on things. You can check out some of the other major names that are tied to this as well. These are substantial names. And then up here, you can actually kind of see what specific members are doing. Like here's RTGS Global's mission. You know, they are here to reduce the friction and costs associated with cross-border payments, and also liquidity management, which is pretty interesting if you actually think about it. And they are focused on the derivatives, settlements, cross-border commercial payments, and more, with especially in the FX markets, which very substantial names and markets, by the way. But nonetheless. If you actually go over here, so this is source Ripple. This is all from Ripple. CBDC is the future of fiat. Ripple launches CBDC Innovate Challenge. Again, you know, they've been focused on the cross-border payment market for a while. I actually do want to go over here to the members list as well. So let's go to membership. Now, again, all of like these two associations and, you know, I would say like companies, if you will. They're like a non-profit, and they are basically researching, developing, and understanding how we can make this entire system work. Quant is a part of the Digital Pound Foundation. The reason why I do believe that they are is because the United Kingdom has actually accepted Quant into their governmental use caseability area for, again, interoperability within all of their systems, which is very interesting. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because when you actually go back to things, and by the way, here's their audiences. This is how large of a impression they have made already. And you could actually check out some of their other major networks. Like here's the Bank of England. They have a few other ones as well. Membership opportunities as well. They really kind of focus on a lot here. I know that I'm kind of getting off pace, but the reason why I bring up Quant and the reason why I bring up Ripple is because all of this is centered around interoperability and bridging the gap in innovation. Now, what does this have to do with the Federal Reserve? Well, let's actually go over here. So Digital Asset Daily, or Assets Daily on Twitter, actually posted this. And I was like, all right, this is actually pretty interesting because I looked it over, I read it, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty crazy. So FedNow service timing narrows to mid-2023. Full-scale pilot testing begins, delaying the Ripple case until then. A lot of people complain to the idea that, like, listen, they have been delaying, so that, you know, the show continues on and Ripple comes in and, you know, is fully disrupting the entire core system. You could play into that however you'd want. I don't really speculate all that much on that type of stuff. I do think that by mid-2023, we should see a settlement or a clear win for Ripple, though. And I think that that's going to open the doors for a lot of things. But we do see previously announced FedNow service timing narrows to mid-2023. Full-scale pilot testing begins. And we do see this. This got posted on the 3rd, which was yesterday, technically 2 days ago now. But we do see the Federal Reserve Banks recently narrowed the timing of the FedNow service launch to mid-year 2023, targeting a production rollout of the service in the May to July timeframe. And we do see a few quotes. With the FedNow launch date in sight, we are pleased with the collaboration and dedication our pilot participants have brought to advance modern payments in America. This is all centered on modernization. Currently, more than 120 organizations are participating in the FedNow pilot program. Recent newcomers include U.S. Bank, Exchange Bank, and several payment processors and solution providers, including, and they go on to list a few other ones. But I'm very excited for this. I think that this is actually playing right into the DLT area, which we will get into here in a second. But we do see the benefits of instant payments are increasingly important to consumers and businesses, and the ability to provide the service will be critical for financial institutions to remain competitive. Next year, financial institutions will be able to use the FedNow service as a springboard to provide innovative solutions to their customers. Now, I actually do think that this is critical for them in regards to competition, because at the end of the day, listen, I've always said that they will need to innovate further. They will need to adopt in crypto technology because at the end of the day, every area around the world besides the US has moved rapidly on this. So it is very interesting. Now you might be wondering, well, okay, well, what does Ripple have to do with the FedNow service? A lot of people have speculated that the FedNow service will be built out on, the XRP ledger, and it will be provided or powered by XRP or so. I don't necessarily believe that that is the case, but we could definitely look at a few things around what Ripple could provide to them. And I actually want to share with you guys this going all the way back to December of 2019. This was actually posted by boy_XRP. If you guys have been around for a while, you probably are aware of this post. And this is when we first seen a few updates. So this is the RippleNet committee. We do see since 2015, Ripple and an advisory team made up of a diverse set of leading transaction bankers have been building the rulebook, a common framework that ensures operational consistency and legal clarity for every transaction. By the way, yes, this provides an insight on the fact that Ripple has been, ahead of the game for a very long time. You do see some of the major names down here. Like I said, they have direct connections to massive institutions. One simple integration: participants can transact with anyone on Ripple's growing global real-time payment network through a single agreement. And over here, this is an important milestone for banks to embrace distributed ledgers in the move from proof of concept to commercial-ready solutions. And then over here on the last slide, and this is the big one, we've signed up 90 banks now, including the Bank of England, the Fed's Faster Payment System, and many others. Do not forget the fact that Ripple has been expanding rapidly, especially inside of the US and outside of the US. I know that right now, for the longest time, I should say, actually, it's like almost 2 years now officially, there's been a massive, change in the scenery of what Ripple is and what XRP is. Everyone has speculated on what's happening. Everyone thinks that this entire lawsuit is a stage. It's a, show. I'm not going to play into that. I don't really care too much about what's going on within that. But what I will say is this. We are seeing global adoption of DLT. We're seeing global adoption of crypto and crypto-driven systems. The BRICS nations have been moving out, or I should say moving in on, crypto-driven payment systems for cross-border payments and global trade, while moving outside of the SWIFT system and the US dollar. And I do think that this move is going to continue to spread. I think that the fire has already started, and I do think that right now, as we look at the global moves on crypto, it has streamlined and been fully moving fast forward into a world where crypto is powering the payment rails of the legacy system. And I think that it's ever changing every single day. Now, all of this plays into the idea that Volante was the big leader behind the FedNow service. And again, this has exposure to Ripple. We've talked about this in the past as well. And we do see like Volante Technologies launches first unified service for FedNow and TCH RTP. This is centered on real-time payments as well. For example, Volante Technologies, the global leader in cloud payments and financial messaging, today announced that it's offering the U.S. banks and financial institutions a single unified solution for the FedNow service and the TCH RTP real-time payments. Adopters of the industry-first service will be able to start their real-time payment journeys with TCH RTP immediately and seamlessly add the FedNow service when the new network is ready, gaining a unique advantage in the increasingly competitive U.S. payments landscape. And this is very exciting because at the end of the day, like, this is going to be centered on cross-border clearing and settlement. Again, it just makes sense to utilize Ripple within that area. Will they use it? We don't know. We don't have full-on confirmation. But Volante is a big leader around trillions of dollars being transacted every single day, as you guys do see down here, which we've talked about in the past. They are a trusted partner to over 100 banks, which I think will also play a vital role in a domino layer effect on Ripple. And also, by the way, over here on Volante Tech's website, you could do, or you do see the U.S. FedNow Instant Payments service. This is end-to-end instant payment processing through FedNow or cloud or yours as well. And we do see a few discussions in here. It's all centered on real-time payments powered by Volante than any other provider. This is really kind of just centered on the clearing, settlement, and also just instantaneous payments that will run 24/7, 365. And this is all going to be starting in the US by 2023. And we do see that it's going to happen within the mid 2023 timeframe. And we do have the official timeframe up here as well. It's going to be May to July, which is very exciting. And over here is the big sort of idea on what's going to be happening with Ripple during this entire time and how Ripple will essentially be utilized. We do see Volante Technologies launches accelerator for bank integration to Ripple's distributed financial technology. US-based banking heavyweight BNY Mellon have joined forces to create and deploy technology to enable real-time payments in the US and internationally. And shout out to Bank XRP for this. This goes all the way back to August of 2018. I'm sure that you guys have probably seen this, and you do see how this will all work. So payment generation, fee and FX rate, quote, confirmation, confirm FX rate, and fees, make payment via Ripple, payments settled on Ripple. And this is all in an instantaneous time frame or a near instantaneous time frame in that 3 to 5 seconds. We don't know if they're going to be sourcing XRP or anything, but it would make sense. And this is all through Volpay. And there's a whole bunch of other confirmations here and a ton of other things within this entire breakdown here. It's old, so again, a lot of this information is a little bit older, but it still stays true today. And also, if you go over to the FedNow.org's website and you actually explore the city, and this is Volante Technologies Solutions, Volpay, this is with Ripple essentially. And they actually have the Volpay video down here as well. You can kind of see the entire thing down here. Like, they have all the information in regards to type of end user support it. You do see it's businesses, financial institutions, consumers, others, and then you do see liquidity management service providers, transactions, use cases, all centered on some big area use cases. This is going to provide an insight to some major opportunities, and you do see all of it. It's really kind of centered on liquidity and all that kind of stuff. But the reason why I bring this up is because Volpay is the biggest key to Volante Tech, and as you guys do see, like, this is on Volpay. This is the Volpay integration with Ripple. You actually do see up here extensibility to other U.S. payment types: ACH, same-day ACH, RTP, FedWire fund service, chips, and then down here two traditional cross-border payments: SWIFT and next-generation cross-border payments: Ripple, Visa Direct, Visa B2B, MasterCard Send, and others. Now, I know that a lot of people brought up the idea that like SWIFT GPI would be used during this time frame as well, which is understandable. Swift GPI doesn't offer instant settlement, though. That's the biggest problem with Swift GPI. It's actually not. It's not like a huge innovation at all, if anything. So, but this is a huge connection to Ripple with cross-border payments, because this is all centered on cross-border payments. And we all know that if you go over to Ripple's website, which if you guys want to, we can actually go over to Ripple's website right now. And if you go up here to cross-border payments, you guys have cross-border payments settlement in seconds, not days. And guess what's powering their cross-border payment mechanism? That's right, XRP. It all plays into XRP's alley there. Again, does this provide an insight that FedNow will basically be powered by XRP? No, I don't believe that it's going to be powered by XRP, but I do believe that it will open the door for XRP to be utilized within the system. And how so will that work? Well, ISO 20022 migration. I think that this is going to unlock the doors for a lot of things. For example, they don't directly mention Ripple at all within this. For example, they do say solutions for Swift, FedWire, Euro 1, T2, and other clearing infrastructures. You could actually see that this is also centered on remittances. They do mention a few other things as well in regards to like the legacy systems having enriched data so that they're more interoperable together, and also it provides a little bit of better payment data in general for processing, settlement, all that kind of stuff. And this is all through modernization, which is very interesting. And you do see down here, modernizing is easier and faster than you think. With Volpay, all centered on Volpay, it's possible to address the complex challenges of ISO 20022 migration programs with minimal impacts to existing systems. And this is the biggest key. So with all of this, you might be wondering, okay, well, how does, again, Ripple play a role within this? Well, here is the ISO 20022 solution, by the way. You can actually see the migration as well. You can see the benefits down here. You can see the supported messaging standards as well. Technology, and then you could also see the features up here. And they also do mention like why Volante. And then I have this open over here, which we could actually kind of see. This is 5 success factors for our ideal ISO 20022 migration, a guide for banks and financial institutions. this actually kind of breaks down a little bit. Let me zoom in real quick so that you guys can see. So this kind of introduces us to it. We don't really need to have an introduction. Here's the migration checklist. By the way, these are the 5 elements to a successful ISO 20022 migration for financial services. You see the entire evolution here in regards to the legacy infrastructure. Assess and evolve legacy infrastructure. Expect and mitigate the effects of data truncation, and anticipate standards coexistence, prepare for an interoperable future. And this is the biggest key down here, because guess what? Going all the way back to the beginning, interoperability, CBDCs, interoperability. I am pretty sure even if we go over to the, I want to say, we'll just go to the private one. I'm pretty sure the private one will also mention interoperability. Let me just kind of search for interoperability. So this one actually doesn't mention interoperability, which is interesting, but I think that this is actually just kind of breaking down white papers more so. So it's actually not giving us any insights on that, but pretty sure down here they even do say interoperability or so, but nonetheless, we all know that it needs to be interoperable anyways. I don't really need to go in depth on that. I'm sure that you guys are probably aware of that. If we wanted to go to the public one, so this is the Central Bank Digital Currency CBDC. This one should probably say interoperability because that was private. So let me go to, yeah, I mean, like, there's just so much information here that it would take me a little bit. But here's like DLT's role. They do mention DLTs, tokenization, digitization of monetary system, processing, settlement. It's all, the main focus point areas that we've been addressing for a while. I'm not sure on interoperability, but we know that it is going to be 100% needed. We've talked about this many times in the past, but nonetheless, you kind of get the idea here. It's going to be an interoperable future. This is, I do believe, is going to be powered by Quant. Why do I believe that it's going to be powered by Quant? Well, if you actually go into this article, it's only mentioned one time, by the way. And by the way, it's funny because this is from Ripple.com ISO overview. It's interesting that almost everything on Volante is centered back to Ripple. And by the way, this is their ISO 20022 overview, RippleNet, shaping the future of cross-border payments. It really is. It's insane that all of this is centered on this. And we actually do see up here, the world is converging on a digital or on a new global standard, ISO 20022, the de facto global data standard for modern payments, to help enable this next step in global interoperability and meet the evolving needs of our customers. Ripple is now a partner of the ISO 20022 standards body, the first member focused on DLT. And I do believe that this is also going to all be focused on DLT. Let me actually download this real quick. So here is the one paper on cross-border payments, shaping the future of cross-border payments, all centered on DLT payment flows, utilizing DLT, already adopted in 70 countries. It is estimated that 87% of global financial transactions will be supported by ISO 20022 by 2023. And here you can see all of the ideas around the membership customers are able to help define the future direction of cross-border payments. And they even go in hand on a few other ones, and also who runs on RippleNet, over 300 financial institutions, payout capabilities in 70 plus countries, presence in 45 plus countries and 6 continents, and this is continuously growing. But again, it's just comical that everything here in regards to Volante, like almost everything on Volante's website can kind of lead back to Ripple. And this is, I do think, for good measure. I think that it really kind of focuses on where Ripple with XRP and the XRP ledger is kind of focused on. And where they're positioned. So we do see here the movement towards ISO 20022 goes beyond just compliance with the SWIFT or market infrastructure mandate. The payments processing ecosystem is a diverse and ever-changing one. While there are major changes in how payments are going to be made occurring now, there are new entrants, ideas, and innovations that will shape the industry landscape for years to come. A lot can happen in 5 years, and after all, sitting at the heart of that change will be the ISO 20022. The standard will bring together disparate systems, standards, and methods from across the globe and tie them together. No greater example of this can be found than in that of Ripple. I want you guys to understand, and I love the fact that they're also mentioning like it's a Swift competitor, which is interesting. But I love the fact that they are literally mentioning like the fact that Ripple here is becoming a massive giant within this area. And they even do mention a few other things down here as well. There are plenty more real-time systems on the way too. Western Union has been steadily expanding its network of real-time cross-border payments and now covers 550,000 locations in 200 countries. Visa has developed its B2B Connect service. Again, they just really kind of mentioned a few other ones here. But it definitely is very interesting that we are seeing a major move in regards to like an interoperable future. I do think that's all going to be set up on DLT technology. I do think that the entire financial system, the entire monetary system, will be fully disrupted, and DLT will play a pivotal role. I think that we're going to see CBDCs being issued out on DLTs, even commercial stablecoins and major central bank stablecoins as well. We could possibly see that. But I think that this is all going to be connected through Quant Network. I've always said that Quant Network is going to be the key player around this entire market in regard to digital euro adoption, digital pound adoption, digital US dollar adoption. And it really kind of does lead all the way back to Ripple. I mean, like, Ripple has a key presence in almost every single one of these major reports. So it is very interesting. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.